Hey, it is good to see everybody. Welcome back to Mrs. Hayes? Mr. Hayes' classroom lessons. It is week 5, day 1. I hope you have had a fantastic Easter break. It has been glorious outside, absolutely glorious. So I spent lots of project time outdoors. I'm building a pergola at the minute, so I've been really busy outdoors, and I hope you've spent lots of time outdoors too. Not too far away from the house, however, but I hope you have been having lots of sunshine and getting your vitamin D topped up. Goodness knows it makes this a little bit easier. Now, we are going to get stuck into a little bit of numeracy work. However, before we do, Brain Buzz is presented slightly differently. When you click on the link now, you will be taken to the folder, and you've got to go to the most recent upload to access your work. Okay, so choose your group and then access the right link, which will take you to the right folder, and you choose the most recent upload. I'm not going to link it to each and every page. It's a little confusing with the number of links that we've got going now, and it's a bit more straightforward this way. So, squares, let's jump into our numeracy work and see what we're doing now. Okay, good morning, squares. Now, squares, our learning intention is, well, really, we're looking at the kilometre or the kilometre, and it's a little bit of consolidation, which means that this is not brand new learning for you. You have done some of this stuff before, and we're practicing it and revising it, okay? And what's key about this one is I want us to look at the relationship between fractions involving kilometres. So, what do I mean by that? We're going to take a look at different fractions and see what they're equivalent to in metres and kilometres. So, for example, here I have half a kilometre, and half a kilometre, you should be able to recall quite quickly, half a kilometre would be 500 metres. A quarter of a kilometre then? Well, let me ask the question, I forgot. How many metres in a kilometre? Of course, there are 1,000 metres in a kilometre. Okay, so that makes 1 kilometre. So, if I have a quarter of a kilometre, it's going to be a quarter of 1,000, which should be 250 metres. 3 quarters then would be 3 times the quarters, 750 metres. Down here, another common one that you would see is 1/10 of a kilometre, and that is 100 metres, because it takes 10 of those to make up the kilometre. 2/10 would then be 200 metres. And then 9/10, no prizes for knowing this one. It's pretty easy if you follow the pattern. You would end up with 900 metres. Now, why is this stuff important? Because you might see it represented on a map like this, which is your work today. Here we have different locations, and the distances are represented using whole kilometres and fractions of a kilometre. And you might have to write in metres the shortest distance between two places, the longest distance to get from one place to another, or the total distance of a journey. So real life learning in this one for you today, okay? We have done kilometres before, that's nothing new. However, we're looking at it in terms of reading maps, using it with fractions to make sure we understand the relationship and reminding ourselves of that again. Squares, that is you. Good luck. Okay, good morning, triangles. Triangles, we need to cast our minds back a little now to remind ourselves of kilograms and grams. This all comes from a previous lesson we've looked at. We know that in a kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. In half a kilogram, we're looking at the relationships of fractions in relationship to grams and kilograms. So a half a kilogram would be 500 grams. 1 quarter then would be 250 grams. Then we looked at it whenever you have a whole kilogram and the fraction. So 1.5 kilograms gave us 1,500 grams. We're obviously recording everything in grams on this side. 2 1/4, so we know that 2 kilograms is going to be the 2,000. A quarter then is the 250 grams, totaling 2,250 grams, and so on and so on. Now, why are we looking at this? Because today we are going to be looking at grams and kilograms once again, except looking at standard weights and standard units of measurements as well. You might see in school these kicking around. We have these in schools. These are standard weights that we would record things in. Like 1 gram is standard. Everything in between is not so standard. 5 grams would be a standard measurement. 10, 20, 50, 100, 200, 500, 1 kilogram. Okay? Now, If we were in school, we would probably have a go at using some of these standard weights, measure different things, find out how heavy they are and weigh them out. But because we're not, we're going to do something in the book instead. So your lesson today is to take a look at these scales and take a look at the standard measurements that are used and then the object that we are weighing, and work out the few standard weights that you would need to make this balance with this. Okay, so what would I need to add to this to make it balance? Okay, and you're going to do that for all of these. So here are the weights that you're allowed to use. Okay, some of them have been added to the scales already, but using the fewest possible. You can't just go 1 1 1 1 1 1. I know a couple of you sneaky ones would think of that dead straight away. Very clever, but you're not allowed to. You have to use the fewest possible to make these scales balance. Okay, then down here, record the weight of each object using standard units of measurement down here as well. So have a little read at that from today's work and see how to be sure. Down here, how much does this weigh all together? You've got it broken up into the weight amounts, the standard unit of weights. Put it all together and give me a total weight of the bucket, a total weight of the brick, a total weight of the shoe and of the chair. Okay? Challenge at the bottom is a good thinker one. I'm just going to show you and let you do it. I'm not going to give you any advice on this one at all. We've got a pear and a marble and an apple, a pear and some marbles. How many marbles will balance the apple? Ooh, that is a tough one. Good luck with that. Okay, my my super circles. It is good to have you back again now. Super circles, we were working really hard before we got off on Easter, looking at vertical recording, exchanging tens, exchanging hundreds, and we were doing it in the expanded written method. Okay, and this is us finishing off the expanded written method topic, and then we have moved on to do it in a quicker way. Remember, we were showing our knowledge about what happens when you get to the quicker way by expanding it out this way. So we're going to take a look at one of them, run right through it, and then we'll jump straight into a bit of work. The work will last a couple of days, so tomorrow there will be no new teaching. It'll just be the same practice over again, but with some new textbook work, so you can put everything into practice. So let's see what's going on. We have 634, take away 58. Boom boom, we expand it out and split it. There's the 600, there's the 30, there's the 4, there's the 50, there's the 8. Okay, now let's take a look at this sum. 4 subtract 8 we cannot do. There's more on the floor, we go next door. 30 take away 50 we cannot do. More on the floor, we go next door. So there's a couple of issues here. We're going to have to exchange tens down to the units, and we're going to have to exchange hundreds down to the tens to make this work. So let's take a look at this. First of all, let's do the tens down to the units. We are borrowing 10 from here and bringing it over, making this now 14, because now we can do 14 take away 8. But we've now got a problem. This becomes 20. We cannot do 20 take away 50. So let's look at the next step. This is what it would look like if we had done all our expanding out and all of the exchanging. This now becomes 14. This is no longer 600. We've borrowed one and put it over here. Where this was 20 before, we've added the 100 that we've borrowed, and it's now 120. Take away 50. We can do. Okay, so let's take a look at what the sum would look like. 14 take away 8 gives you 6. 120 take away 50 gives you 70. And 500 take away, boom boom, there's nothing there, gives you 500. Your answer when you add it all back together, 576, which is what we have over here. Now, you may want to pause the video, go back over that again. I know it's confusing. We have a lot going on, but we have covered lots of previous steps to get this far in previous lessons. Let's see what this would look like in the quicker method, the shorter method, okay? 4 take away 8 we can't do. There's more on the floor, so we go next door and borrow one. This becomes 14, this becomes 2. 14 take away 8 we can do, that gives us 6. 2 take away 5, we cannot do 2 take away 5, so we go next door to the hundreds and borrow one from there. and put it in there. That becomes 12 take away 5. This becomes 5. 12 take away 5 gives us 7. 5 take away, boom boom, there's nothing there, gives us 576. Clever boy, Mr. Hayes. Okay, now you're going to put this into practice today with some textbook work. Here is what your work will look like. Be careful, read everything carefully. That is the top tip I can give you. Read everything carefully because it is only calculating, and calculating is easy once you have got the technique. What you've got to do is understand the question so you know what to do, because the rest of it is just adding, subtracting, taking away, that sort of stuff, and that is dead easy. Okay, circles, work hard, get stuck in, and good luck. Okay, so numeracy is out of the way for the day. It is literacy time, so a little bit of grammar and word work now. We're going to be looking at confused words. These are words that we often use in our language in everyday talk, but we could be using the wrong word. For example, borrow and lend. Could I please borrow your pencil? Is one way of saying things that I've heard in the classroom. Could you please lend me your pencil? Could I please lend your pencil? Could I borrow your pencil? Both of these phrases I have used, but only one is correct. So these are the types of confused words that we used, and we're going to try and sort these out and look at some common words and make sure that we're using them correctly so that our grammar is appropriate and we can use them correctly if we need to. I suppose really if you're in the classroom and you say, can I lend your pencil? It's okay because you're getting the message across, but if you were writing a formal letter, you would definitely want to be using the right sort of grammar. It's just good to know. So let's take a look at the different sort of confused words. It'll be in the link. Find your work in the link and just read carefully. Everything's pretty much self-explanatory on the worksheet. However, I know it's on a worksheet and you haven't got that worksheet, so be creative, try and make it work for you. Do your best to lay it out in your books. Okay, and finally for today, I have a little riddle for you. In fact, I have lots of riddles for you. It's a riddle challenge sheet. Around your home you will find these different objects. Check out the sheet in the link, see how many you can find. For example, here is one for you to consider. I am in the kitchen. I am usually white. I am cold. I have food and drink in me. What am I? I know what it is. Do you know what it is? See if you can work it out and complete the little riddle sheet. Oh, and by the way, bad dad joke coming up. Stay tuned.